Hello, everyone. My name is Alice Golding, and today I'm going to be talking to you about the impacts of feral cats on the western ground parrot, sometimes called the Kyleling, in the biosphere of the Fitzgerald River National Park in Western Australia. The western ground parrot, or Kyleling, is one of Australia's most critically endangered birds, with fewer than 150 individuals remaining in the wild. Confined to the Fitzgerald River National Park in Western Australia, this ground-dwelling species faces an existential threat from feral cats, which are declared pests, whose predation has been directly linked to the parrot's decline. Despite targeted baiting programs and conservation efforts, feral cats continue to evade control, especially since fox numbers have declined. Following fox program Western Shield, numbers of cats have exploded, and this continues to exert pressure on the fragile population of ground nesting birds. The loss of the Kyleling would not only represent an ecological collapse, but also a cultural one, as the species symbolises Australian native endemic wildlife and holds significance for the Noongar people of Western Australia. Through this inquiry, I have learned that feral cats are mesopredators whose population has increased following fox control programs such as Western Shield, intensifying their impact on ground nesting birds like the Kyleling. The parrot's cryptic behaviour, rarely flying or calling, makes it difficult to monitor and even harder to protect. While strategies such as eradicate baiting, exclusion fencing, and habitat restoration show promise, it's habitat dependent and often limited by terrain and weather. Importantly, Indigenous ranger programs are proving vital, integrating cultural knowledge with cutting-edge scientific practice to protect both biodiversity and cultural heritage. Captive breeding has emerged as a necessary but complex solution, requiring new husbandry techniques and long-term planning, as this has never been previously attempted. So why should we care? Because the extinction of the Kyleling would be irreversible. It would signal not only the loss of a species, but the unravelling of an ecosystem and the silencing of an endemic cultural voice. The parrot is a seed disperser and ecological indicator. Its disappearance would destabilise the Fitzgerald River biosphere. For the Noongar people, the Kyleling is a totemic species, and its loss would sever a spiritual connection to country. Feral cats are responsible for 2 billion native animal deaths annually in Australia and have contributed to at least 20 mammal extinctions. If we do not act, the Kyleling may be next. And this is not just a conservation issue. It is a test of our ethical responsibility to protect what is rare, sacred, and irreplaceable. We can act and we must. At a personal level, we can support responsible pet ownership by keeping domestic cats indoors or in enclosed outdoor spaces. As educators, we can embed inquiry-based learning that fosters ecological empathy and cultural respect. At a community level, councils can implement cat curfews, promote desexing programs, and support Indigenous-led conservation initiatives. Nationally, we must fund long-term integrated predator control, habitat restoration, and expand captive breeding programs for the Kyleling. Internationally, Australia can lead in ethical invasive species management, sharing strategies that balance biodiversity protection with animal welfare. The Kylering's call is fading, but our collective response can be loud and clear. Thank you so much for listening.